Jai Hind, dear children. Today we are going to start a new chapter in politics. Your seventh chapter, Outcomes of a Democracy. Through this chapter, we are going to have a detailed recall about the overall information that we understand about democracy from our ninth standard onwards. Because in lower classes itself, you are studying about democracy, but it becomes so important and detailed in your ninth and 10th classes, isn't it? So, through this chapter, once again, we are having a quick recall of what we understand about democracy, its main features, its merits and demerits. This chapter also helps us to understand or think that is democracy a better form of government when compared with dictatorship or any other alternatives? That and if so, then what are the main reasons for considering democracy as a better form of government that we are going to study through this chapter? Then it is also help us to know whether our democracy is efficient and effective. So if a democratic government is efficient and effective, then what are the reasons for that also? That also help us to understand more through this chapter. This chapter also gives us a detailed outcome of democracy in the political, economic and social spheres. So through this chapter, we are moving from a specific theme to a general set of questions. So first of all, we want to know what is the meaning of the term democracy. Different types of definitions are there related to the term democracy. One such definition is that it's a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. Or otherwise, we can say that democracy is a system of government in which the citizens exercise power. It's more clear to you, I think. So, and another definition is that democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people and they take all the major decisions. So, just a common definition related to democracy, isn't it? So, once again, what is democracy? It's a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people and take all the major decisions. And the word democracy is derived from two Greek words, that is demos and kratia, that you are studying from your ninth standard, isn't it? So what is demos? Demos means people and kratia means government. Thus democracy means ruled by the people. In a democratic setup, every citizen has a right to take part in the decision making process. We all know the famous quotation of Abraham Lincoln about democracy, that democracy is government of the people, government by the people and government for the people. So once again, the famous quotation of Abraham Lincoln is that democracy is government of the people, government by the people and government for the people. And it is in this democracy that citizens choose their representatives who would form the government. This chapter deals with the various aspects, aspirations and need of democracy. So before going directly into the chapter, first we want to know the main features of democracy. Then it will be more easy for us to assess democratic outcomes, because we bring democracy in our country through a great struggle. And so it is very important for us to know or to analyze whether it is working well or not. So to assess or to analyze democracy, the first step is to know about the main features of a democracy. The first main feature of democracy is that, unlike dictatorship or kingship, in a democracy, rulers are elected by the people. As rulers, they are representatives of the people and are authorized to take decision on behalf of the people. So the first main feature of democracy is that every citizen is having the right to elect their own rulers. Because these rulers are elected by the people. As rulers, they are representatives of the people and they are authorized to take decision on behalf of the people. Another main feature of democracy is a good democracy provides its people an equal opportunity to get elected as representative or elected their representatives, isn't it? So it is in a democracy we the people will become voters, and we are having this universal adult franchise. Through that power, we are having the right to elect our own representative. And also in democracy, we the citizen is having the right to elect our representatives and be a part of that election process as a candidate also. All this is going on in this democratic form of government. Then next is free and fair elections in democracy give an opportunity and choice to the people to elect their representatives. Isn't it? In a democratic country, always this election is conducted in a free and fair manner. Whatever procedures we want to follow in this election process, they are 100% strictly followed in a democratic country. And this election and its procedures, process, everything were under the control of the Election Commission of India. So, this is also another great feature of our democracy. Then, a good democracy protects rights of the citizens, isn't it? In a democratic country, every citizen is having their own fundamental rights which were highlighted in our constitution. And each of these fundamental rights were 100% safeguarded by our democratic government. Then, a good democracy works for the common good of the people and provide them with equal opportunity of development. So, overall, we can say that a good democratic government, they always work for the common good of the people, whether it is upper caste, lower caste, or whether rich or poor, or educated or uneducated. They are never bother about all these things. A democratic government is people's own government, isn't it? So, 100% they are working for the common good of the people and provides them with equal opportunities of development. So these are the main features of democracy. So we already studied about the features of democracy. Now we want to understand about what are the merits of democracy. So one of the famous statement related to this merit of democracy is that democracy is a better form of government when compared with other forms of government like dictatorship or any other alternatives. So our democracy is considered as the best among these dictatorships, kingships, or any other alternatives. Why? Because of its merits only, they are highlighting among all these forms of government. So now we want to study what are the main merits that give democracy that much of importance in our world itself. The first is that it improves the quality of decision making by following a set of procedures and giving participation to the representatives of the people in this process. So the first main merit of this democracy is that it improves the quality of decision making. How it improves the quality of decision making? By following a set of procedures and giving participation to the representatives of the people in this process. That means it is the representatives of the people, they are taking decisions in a democratic process. The second main merit of the democracy, or second main importance why democracy is considered as better among other forms of government, it is that it protects the rights of the citizens and take care of the dignity of the individuals. So in a democratic government, we as citizens is having the full right, and our fundamental rights are 100% safeguard in a democratic country. At the same time, it also take care of the dignity of the individuals. So because of that also, this democratic form of government is considered as the best among other forms. Next, the next merit is that democracy believes in the principle of common good. It provides methods and avenues to resolve conflicts among different sections of the society. So, another merit is that democracy it believes in the principle of common good. That means it considered all the citizens in the country as a one or equal. And it provides all the methods and avenues to resolve conflicts among different sections of the people and to safeguard unity in our country and to safeguard the diversity of our country. Then, another merit is that it promotes equality among citizens by providing them with equal opportunity for development. So, this democracy it also promotes equality among citizens. That means there's a right to equality is also given a lot of importance in a democratic country, because through this idea only there will be equal opportunity for each and every section of the population in our country. And the last one is that if a mistake has been committed, there is always a room to correct it in a democracy. So, if there is a mistake committed by our elected representatives, isn't it? Because they are the rulers of our country in a democratic way. So, if they are committing any mistake, there is a room to correct their mistake. How we can correct them? In the next election, we will choose another group of representatives. From that, we make them understand that their policies and their way of governing is wrong. It will create a lot of problems to us. That also can happen only in a democratic government. Because of all these reasons, we can say that this democracy is a better form of government compared to other alternatives, just like the dictatorships, kingships, or something else. So when we talk to people around us, most of them they are supporting democracy against other alternatives like monarchy or military rule or dictatorship or anything, because of the merits and the great features of democracy. But some of them they are of the opinion that democracy is good, but it is not that much of good in its practice. So democracy is seen to be good in principle, but felt to be not so good in its practice. This is the opinion of a majority of our population. Why? Why the people is having this type of opinion against our democracy? It is good in its principle, but felt not to be so good in its practice. What are the reasons that we are going to study next? So, democracy is responsive and accountable, but it often frustrates the needs of the people and often ignores the demands of majority of its population. So, we always say that this democratic form of government is always very much responsible to the citizens and it is very accountable type of government. That means it is giving 100% importance to the citizens, to the people of our country. But it often frustrates, giving no importance to the needs of the people, and it often ignores the demands of a majority of its population also. This also happen in democracy. It can be included in the demerit of democracy also. Next is if democracies are expected to produce good government, then it is not fair to expect that they will also produce development. Evidences shows that in practice many democracies did not fulfill these expectations. So we always says that on the basis of its principles, that means features, democracy is a good form of government, but we can't expect this good form of government can create or produce good development in our country, because many evidences shows that in practice many democracies did not fulfill the people's expectations to have that much of development in their country. When we see many developed, underdeveloped and developing countries throughout the world, overall we cannot say that democracy is a guarantee of economic development. So we are coming across many developed, underdeveloped and developing countries throughout the world. After comparing all these, we can't say that a democracy is a guarantee of economic development, because sometimes it will give us development, especially based on economy. Sometimes it didn't. So we can't 100% expect economic development from democracy. Next is it is expected in a democracy that there will be a just distribution of goods and opportunities. In actual life, democracies did not appear to be very successful in reducing economic inequalities. So, in principles, we are saying that they are giving importance to the right to equality, they are giving importance to each and every citizen in our country, and they are giving goods and opportunities to each and every citizen in the proper way, in the equal way. But in actual life, in reality, what's happening in democracy do not appear to be very successful in reducing our economic inequalities. Next, in democracy, all individuals have equal weight in electing representatives. Parallel to the process of bringing individual in the political arena on an equal footage, one can see growing economic inequalities. Rich people are becoming richer, and among poor, poverty is increasing. So, in principle, we are saying that each and every citizen in India is having the right to elect their representatives. We are having universal adult franchise in our country. Yeah, it's right. But after that, what is happening? Do our representatives are greeting us in the equal way? No. They are giving importance to those rich section in the society. And the poor section, already they are poor, and their poverty is increasing, and their problems and everything they are facing is increasing day by day. So because of all these demerits we are facing in a democratic country, we are always of the opinion that means majority of the population are of the opinion that democracy is seen to be good in principles, but felt to be not so good in its practice. So in short, over 100 countries of the world that claim and practice some kind of democratic policies. They have formal constitutions, they hold elections, they have parties, and they guarantee the fundamental rights of the citizens. While these features are common to most of them, but democracies are very much different from each other in terms of their social situations, their economic situations, and their other achievements. So, we want to understand that the socio-economic and political conditions in each one of these democratic countries are different from one another, even though they are democratic in their principles, but they are having different socio-economic and political situations. So, the first step towards thinking carefully about the outcome of democracy is to recognize that democracy is just a form of government. It can only create conditions for achieving something. The citizens have to take advantage of those conditions and achieve those goals. So, because of all these reasons, we want to give a lot of importance to understand in detail about the outcomes of democracy. In this chapter, you want to study in detail about the three main outcomes of democracy. They are political outcome, economic outcomes, and social outcomes of democracy. So first of all, we are going to study in detail about the political outcome of democracy. Next topic we want to study is the political outcome of democracy. From this topic itself, we are going to understand what are the important outcomes we are getting through political system in a democracy. So, the most basic outcome of democracy should be that it produces a government that is accountable to the citizens and responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens. So, the basic outcome that we are getting about democracy from the political situation itself is that This democracy it is producing a government that is accountable to the citizens and responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens. And it also explains that the political outcome also explains that democracy is based on the idea of deliberations and negotiations. And democracy also ensures that decision making will be based on norms and procedures. So, once again, Democrat explains that democracy is an idea based on deliberations and negotiations, and it is also ensures that decision making will be based on norms and procedures. And the right and the means to examine the process of decision making is carried on this democracy in a very good way, and we can call it as a transparency in democracy. And democratic government do not have a very good record when it comes to sharing information with our citizens. That means they are saying that already we are just informed that we are having transparency in a democracy, but that transparency we can't say 100% it's clear, because from the record itself we can understand that not that much of clear transparency is going on in our democratic setup. In substantive terms, it may be responsible to accept from democracy a good government that is attentive to the needs and demands of the people, and it's largely free of corruptions. So, once again, in substantive terms, it may be reasonable to accept from democracy a government that is attentive to the needs and demands of the people and largely free of corruptions. And the record of democracy is not impressive on these counts. There is one respect in which democratic government is certainly better than its alternatives. It is only that the democratic government is the legitimate government. People wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them, and they also believe that democracy is suitable for their country because it gives them all the benefits in their life, just like right of the citizens to choose their leaders, to keep a check on their leaders. Whenever possible and required, they can participate in decision making either directly or through indirectly through representatives. So because of all these reasons, the citizens they want to have a democratic form of government in their country. So now we already study about the main reasons why we are having a good political outcome from democracy, isn't it? About that means the main basic outcome is that a democratic government is the best because it is accountable to the citizens, responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens. So that is a basic outcome of democracy that we are going to study in detail. So next we are going to study one of the famous statement related to this topic, political outcome of democracy, which is that statement democracy is produced an accountable, responsive and legitimate government. So now we are going to study in detail how democracy produces an accountable government, how it produces a responsive government, and how democracy produces a legitimate government. So first, democracy is an accountable government because citizens have the right to choose their leaders and control over them in democracy. That is, it is a representative government. Citizens have the right and means to examine the process of decision making. So because of all these reasons, democracy is called as an accountable government. So once again, why democracy is called as an accountable government? Because citizens have the right to choose their leaders and control over them. So it can be called also as a representative government. And citizens also have the right and means to examine the process of decision making. The second one, democracy is a responsive government. How democracy is considered as a responsive government? Because it promotes the formation of public opinion and cares about the opinions, needs, and expectations of the people through pressure groups, public protest, and the democratic government can check the popularity of its decisions and mechanism of administrating justice. A government which is able to respond to grievances faster is able to avoid confrontations and provide good governance. So, once again, one why democracy is considered as a responsive government. Why democracy is considered as a responsive government? Because it promotes the formation of public opinions and cares about the opinions, needs, and expectations of the citizens through pressure groups and public protest. And it is the democratic government who can check the popularity of its decisions and mechanism of administrating justice. Because a government which is able to respond to grievances faster is able to avoid confrontations and provide good governance. So a democratic government can do all these things. That's why it is also called as a responsive government. So the third one, democratic government is a legitimate government, isn't it? What is the meaning of the term legitimate? People's own government. So why a democratic government is called as a legitimate government? As it is elected by the people themselves through elections at regular intervals. So one of the main reasons why democratic government is called a legitimate government, because it is elected by people themselves through elections at regular intervals. And another reason is that it may be slow, less efficient, and not very responsive and clean. But it is people's government, isn't it? Our democratic government is very slow in decision making, and we are less efficient also in some other areas. But what happened? It is our own government, people's own government. So people wish to rule by representatives elected by them. Democracy's ability to generate its own support makes it more legitimate, isn't it? Democracy's ability to generate its own support makes this democratic government 100% a legitimate government. So because of all these reasons, democracy is called as an accountable, responsive, and legitimate government. This is one of the famous statement always coming in this area. Why democracy is considered as an accountable, responsive, and legitimate government related to the political outcome of democracy. Another important question arose in the minds of the people about democracy is that is the democratic government efficient and effective? Some people think that democracy produces less effective government, and some are just against this opinion also. So now we are going to study in detail whether a democratic government is efficient or effective. If it is like that, then what are the main reasons for making a democratic government efficient and effective? So many people think that democracy is less efficient and less effective. So why they are having that type of opinion? Because they are always thinking that democracy is based on the idea of deliberations and negotiations, which make democratic government inefficient. And this deliberations and negotiations takes a lot of time also. And in a non-democratic country, rulers do not have to bother about deliberations in assemblies or to worry about majorities and public opinion. So they can be very quick and efficient in decision making and implementations. There is no time lag in non-democratic countries related to decision making. In contrast, as it has to follow procedures, its decisions may be more acceptable to the people and more effective. The cost of time that democracy pays is perhaps worth it. So, Democracy ensures that decision making will be based on norms and procedures. If we are following all this in the proper way, then only we can safeguard unity in our country, we can safeguard the diversity in our country. Democracy produces a government that follows procedures and it's accountable to the people. The democratic government develops mechanism for citizens to hold the government accountable and mechanism for citizens to take part in a decision making whenever they think fit. So because of that, the citizen has the right to know whether a decision taken by the government was taken through the correct procedures and has the right and the mean to examine the process of decision making also. This is a transparency in government. This process can be seen more in a democratic government. Because of that single thing itself, we can say that a democratic government is efficient and effective. So what is meant by transparency? Once again, citizens has the right to know whether a decision taken by the government was taken through the correct procedures and has the right and the means to examine the process of decision making. That is known as transparency in a government. Because of that single thing itself, we can say that our democratic government is more effective and efficient than a non-democratic government. As always, we are highlighting the merits of democracy, as we are saying that the democratic form of government is the best form of government in the world. But it may be reasonable to expect from democracy a government that is attentive to the needs and demands of the people, and it's largely free of corruptions also. But the record of democracy is not that much impressive on all these areas, because some of the cases are saying that they are not attentive to the needs and demands of the people, and our a democratic government is not free from corruptions. Why? But we can say that democracy is better than any other form of government. That means there's a dictatorship or military rule or anything. It is best because it is responding more to the needs of the people. People will have the right to choose the leaders or the rulers, and people will have control over the rulers also. That also is happening in a democratic country, not in a non-democratic country. Whenever possible and necessary, citizens are able to participate in decision making process also. That's why democracy produces a government that is accountable, responsive and legitimate. And the democracy also ensures that decision making will be based on norms and procedures. That is very important and compulsory in democracy. So a citizen who want to know if a decision was taken through the correct procedure can find out this very easily, and this process is known as transparency in government. And democratic government also develops a mechanism for citizens to hold the government accountable and mechanism for citizens to take part in decision making whenever they think it fit. So democracy have had great success in setting up regular and free elections and setting up conditions for open public debates. So because of all these reasons, we can say that when we are comparing this democracy with any other alternatives related to a non-democratic country, 100% our democracy is or our democratic government is more attentive to the needs of the people, and 100% we can't say that our democratic government is free of corruptions, but they are trying to overcome all the corruptions and they are trying to become free from all the corruptions also. There is one respect in which democratic government is certainly better than its alternatives, which is that the idea, always there is an idea that democratic government is a legitimate government. Because of that, there is an overwhelming support for the idea of democracy all over the world. So we want to know what is the meaning of this term legitimate. What is the meaning of the term legitimate government? People's own government. That is the meaning of this legitimate government. So our democratic government is called a legitimate government. Why? Why it is known as legitimate government? Because people wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them. This is going on in a democratic government, isn't it? We are electing our own representatives. That is happening in our democracy. That's why it is called as a legitimate government. The people also believe that democracy is suitable for their country because it safeguards their unity, give them full freedom, it safeguards their fundamental rights, and it's also help them to overall development of their country. Democracy has the ability to generate its own support, which itself is an outcome that cannot be ignored. So, once again, democracy has the ability to generate its own support, which itself is an outcome that cannot be ignored. The democracy is one of the great merit of the democracy is that. And at the same time, democracy provides people the option to choose their own rulers through our universal adult franchise. So, because of all these, it's our own government because it's citizens, they are ruling the country. We are electing our representatives to rule our country. All our wishes are going on in our country, isn't it? That's why we can call a democratic country or a democratic government as a legitimate government or people's own government. So now we have a quick recall of what we studied in this video. First we studied about democracy, what is democracy and what are the main features of democracy. Then we studied about the merits of democracy through a statement, that is, democracy is a better form of government when compared with a dictatorship or any other alternatives. Through this, we just studied about the merits. What are the merits? Why we give a lot of importance to this democratic form of government? Why we consider it as the better one when compared with dictatorship or any other alternatives. Then we studied why democracy is seen to be good in principles but not felt to be good in its practice. What are the reasons for that also? Then we just move to the political outcome of democracy. So in this chapter, we want to study the three outcomes: political outcomes, economic outcomes, and social outcomes of democracy. And through this video, we are studying in detail about the political outcome of democracy. Through this political outcome of democracy, the basic outcome that we are studying is, which is the basic outcome of democracy. Democracy is a form of government which is always accountable to the people, responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens. That is a basic outcome of a democracy, isn't it? So that we studied in detail in different forms. First we studied how a democracy produces a accountable, responsive and legitimate government. Then we studied about the meaning of the term accountable, why democracy is called an accountable government. Then about responsive, why a democratic government is considered as a responsive government. At the same time, we studied about the importance of legitimate government also. Then majority of the population in our country are of the opinion that a democratic government is less efficient and less effective. That also we studied in detail, that only when we are comparing a non-democratic government, then only we can understand that our democratic government is very efficient and very effective in all its procedures. Then we studied a democratic government is attentive to the needs and demands of the people, and it's largely free of corruptions. It is right or wrong. If we are giving importance to this statement, then how we can explain this, that this a democratic government is always attentive to the needs and expectations of the poor citizens in the country, and they are trying to become free of corruptions also. Then in the last area we studied why a democratic government is called a legitimate government. What is the meaning of this legitimate government, people's own government, and why we considered a democratic country as a legitimate country? These are the main points we studied in detail in this video. My dear children, please watch this video very carefully. It is a very important chapter in political science. So please watch the video very carefully. Many statement questions also explained in this video. So you go through all the questions, all the statements, and you just copy down all the important points related to the statement. At the same time, read your textbook 3 or 4 times also. Okay, thank you.